Good afternoon to everyone. We are here today to discuss with you one of the courses which we are offering both as a part of the master's degree in rural development as well as a part of the postgraduate diploma in rural development, namely communication and extension in rural development. Code-wise, this goes to RDD 7. Now, this is a very, very important course, and today, in this session, we will have a special focus on one aspect of the course, namely the rural extension. But before we do that, let's go back to the sort of a context, which is once this course is there, communication and extension, rural development, where is it placed? Let us see the context in which it is placed. Because I personally feel that whenever we have to discuss any particular topic, you have to give the context, because sometimes there are a number of learners who are viewing this program for the first time, may not be able to connect. So even when we are talking about this context, please remember, we may be doing it at the cost of repetition, what we might have said in the earlier programs. That part you have to bear with us, at least for those who will be viewing this program for the first time. Now, when we are talking of the context, we are talking of IGNOU, Indira Gandhi National Open University. We are talking of the academic programs which Indira Gandhi National Open University is offering. As I have been saying, and I'm repeating for the new viewers, that Indira Gandhi National Open University operates academically through various schools of studies. We had, until recently, 9 schools of studies, and we have very recently added 2 more. The schools academic schools which IGNOU operates through are, say for example, School of Engineering and Technology, School of Sciences, School of Social Sciences, School of Education, School of Management Studies, School of Humanities, School of Health Sciences, so on and so forth. And one of those schools also is School of Continuing Education, under which we are offering this postgraduate and master's degree in rural development. The new 2 schools which we have recently added are the School of Agriculture and the School of Law. They have just started functioning. So in all, since you are one of the learners of the Indira Gandhi National Open University now, you must know that as on today, we have now 11 schools of studies at Indira Gandhi National Open University, and that's what I was showing you. Now, once we talk of, that's about the schools. Now, these schools, academic schools, are adequately supported by various divisions. And these divisions, let's have a look at that, starting from administration. Administration is one division which provides all the administrative support necessary to run these academic schools and subsequently various programs offered by the university. Then we have finance and accounts division. As you know, this is very important for running any organization. Then we have international division. This division takes care of the programs which we offer beyond the boundaries of India. We are operating in a number of countries where most of the students, those who are Indian NRIs spread all over the world, they take full benefit of the programs offered by the Indira Gandhi National Open University. Then we have Academic Coordination Division. Academic Coordination Division is the one who takes care of the teacher affairs, because we have a large number of teachers spread both at the headquarters as well as at the regional centers. So all this is being coordinated by the Academic Coordination Division. Then we have STRIDE. It's a training and research center on distance education. This not only operates for India alone, it also does the capacity building of various distance education institutions in other countries which get affiliated with us, either through programs or for some other purposes, or any collaboration which comes up. Then next to that we have a Distance Education Council. It is a body which is supposed to to ensure the quality of distance education programs which we are offering. That's a body where every institution in the country which are offering various distance education programs have to get a sort of a recognition by the Distance Education Council. Then we have planning and development. Planning and development is another division which takes care of the both long-term and short-term planning for Indira Gandhi National Open University. We have another division called RSD, Regional Services Division. You must be aware that IGNOU has a network of regional and study centers throughout the country and abroad. Now all those regional and study centers which operate within the country, their activities are coordinated by the Regional Services Division at the headquarters. Then next important division is MPDD. This is the division which is responsible for the production and distribution of the distance education material produced by the under various programs offered by Indira Gandhi National Open University. Then we have SR&E. This is the division which is responsible for all the necessary formalities required for admission and evaluation or examination, whatever you call it. And finally, we have a very important division called EMPC, where from we are just now telecasting this program, Electronic Media Production Center. I think, with all fairness, this is one of the best centers which we have in the country just now. And this is the center which provides all the audio, video, back-cover component which becomes ultimately a part of the distance education package offered by Indira Gandhi National Open University. So much so about the divisions, so much so about the schools. You have various schools, you have now divisions. Let's move ahead. Then we come to the School of Continuing Education. As I said, one of the 11 schools is a School of the Continuing Education. Why this School of Continuing Education? As a learner, once you have become a part of IGNOU, you should know why this School of Continuing Education. Now what happens that there was a strong realization that there is a need for continuation of education beyond initial education, especially in the professional and vocational spheres. बहुत सख्त ज़रूरत पड़ी थी कि अगर वो लोग जो किसी वजह से अपनी एजुकेशन को नॉर्मल स्ट्रीम में मिस कर गए and they have joined various professional programs or they have joined service or they are doing something, it's very difficult for them to go back to that formal type of an education. लेकिन they badly need professional updation, vocational updation. Can we provide that to those who need it? And this is to address that, those who have missed initial education, especially in the professional and vocational spheres. The continuing education programs will come to their rescue. You will see when I'll tell you about the type of programs which we are offering under the School of Continuing Education, that most of them are related with the professional and vocational spheres which we have. Now, initially when the school was established and formally, two main disciplines were assigned to this. One, rural development, and the second was women's education, formally. But school has spread its coverage of programs to cover a number of other areas, not necessarily falling strictly within these two disciplines. Now we will see what are those areas which school is covering through offering various programs. Say, one, nutrition and health education. This is one area where we have a number of programs. Early child care and education. Journalism and mass communication. This is a program which is being developed by this Electronic Media Production Center. Since it needs an academic home, it is the School of Continuing Education through which this program is being offered. Then we have one of the burning problems you must be knowing nowadays, and you see in the newspapers every now and then the threatening reports which we are receiving through the spread of HIV/AIDS throughout the world. I think we were, if not the first, but the first few who paid special attention by offering some programs in the field of HIV and family education. As on today, we have both a certificate and a diploma program for HIV and family education. Then we have youth and development work. Then subsequently we have special education rehabilitation with the Rehabilitation Council of India. We are taking care of not only who are differently abled, but also those who have to take care of these differently able persons, even their parents. So under this special education rehabilitation, because once you talk of the differently abled people, you need a different type of approach to tackle them, and under this we offer them different standalone packages, both to the people and to those who take care of these people. Then a very interesting and a new area which we have added is the dietetics and food service management. We are in a position now we are offering a master's degree in dietetics and food service management. I think one of the forerunners by exploring this very important area of educational intervention. And then the school has also started both the bachelor's and master's degree in social work. Now this is another area which goes, if you say, very closely when we are talking about rural development, when we are talking about women's education and things like that. Like this, apart from the two conventional or traditional disciplines assigned to the School of Continuing Education, the School of Continuing Education is offering a number of programs, not necessarily or strictly falling within the strict domain of these two disciplines. So much so about the other areas which we have covered. Now let's come to the study program in rural development. You will see there are four major components of the study program on rural development offered by the School of Continuing Education. One is, let me start with the elective in rural development. This is a program, an 8-credit course, which is being offered by the university as a part of the bachelor's development program. You know, if you enroll yourself in the bachelor's degree program of Indira Gandhi National Open University, you get a number of options to add to your courses. One of the options which you could have if you join and if you are interested is elective in rural development, which makes your knowledge updated about the basics of rural development, about the project analysis which in rural development, and so many other important about various programs being offered under rural development. So you get, to the extent it is necessary for a bachelor's degree student to understand these programs, you get through if you offer for this elective. Second, after this, in 1992, we went for a postgraduate diploma. Initially, diploma in rural development. Subsequently, it was upgraded to postgraduate diploma in rural development, where any graduate from any subject can join that diploma if he or she has the interest in the field of rural development. Now, during the process of our implementation, we got very encouraged through the enrollment figures which we had and which we continue to have. And at the same time, we also got a feedback that there are a number of people, number of professionals, perhaps who don't have even time to wait for 1 year to get a postgraduate diploma in rural development. At the same time, they are interested to update their knowledge and skills in rural development concept and practices. So what we thought that if we offer a part of this program, say 3 courses which we are offering, culling out the most important compulsory 3 courses out of this, and offer them to those who are interested and who would like to complete it within 6 months, offer them that as a certificate program in rural development. That's how the certificate program in rural development came into existence. So we have a postgraduate diploma for 1 year, we have a certificate program in rural development for 6 months. And this helps those to update their knowledge who, for any reason, for short of time, for any other engagements, are not able to wait for 1 year or undergo 1 year course, which is the minimum duration for a postgraduate diploma in rural development. They can do it in 6 months and get out of it with whatever benefits they would try to have from this. Now, once these 2 programs were in operation, there was a demand, and we also felt this is a genuine demand, that we should have a master's degree in rural development. And took us some time to fulfill those requirements which are essential to offer a master's program in rural development. And finally, last July 2005, we were able to offer master's program in rural development, a comprehensive one. Now we have, we are going for the second session for the master's program in rural development. We had the last year's session, and if you see the structure of it, how it goes. In the master's degree program on the first semester, you might have seen, those of you who have undergone this program, MRD 101 is a compulsory course on rural development Indian context. It is 6-credit course. Then we have MRD 102, rural development programs. It's again 6 credits. Then we have MRD 103, rural development planning and development, 6 credits. This is a must in the first semester. You have to take these two. And in the second semester, you have one MRD 004, that's research methods in rural development, 6 credits. And you will have to take MRDP 001, that's a dissertation of 12 credits. Now, you can see the logical sequence that in the first semester, you will get to know about the basics of rural development, about the various programs being offered under rural development, about rural development planning and development. These are the basic elements, basic things, prerequisites one has to understand. And then subsequently in the second semester, when you go to research methods in rural development, you are entering into the area of research. And then perhaps dissertation falls in its logical sequence, that you can undertake a study and go for studying any problem of rural development the way you want to do it. Now what happens that we have then third and fourth semester. In third and fourth semester, a learner must complete 5 optional courses during the second year. We have given you 6, and you have a choice to take of any 5. And we go on at the School of Continuing Education, Faculty of Rural Development, continues to go on adding various elective courses so that the students who are offering it hopefully will have a very wider choice in the times to come. As on today, what we have for you, particularly for the third semester, we have this rural health care, we have communication and extension and rural development, the one which we are conducting the session today, and we have rural social development. These are the ones which must be on way to the third year, to the second year students on way, or might have already received them and started working on them. And subsequently they will be followed by 3 other, depending upon the choice which you have taken: voluntary action in rural development, land reforms in rural development, and entrepreneurship in and rural development. These are another 2 programs which are very important as far as the rural development is concerned. Now, if we come to this particular course, RDD 7, the title of which is Communication and Extension in Rural Development. I personally, as a student of rural development, I consider it very, very important, because any type of development intervention becomes effective only when you acquire necessary communication skills and you use those communication skills when you are in the field of extension for rural development. Without having adequate communication skills, I doubt whether you will be able to carry on effective extension work, either in the field of rural development or any other aspects of rural. So to me, this is a very, very important course which we have introduced as a part of both. Now, how many blocks it has? It has essentially 3 blocks. One, which talks about basic principles and techniques of communication. Maybe about this we'll be talking to you in the next session, which will follow this session. The second block is on extension, concepts, philosophy and approaches. We'll be talking a bit about this, particularly the rural extension part in this session, in the second part of this session. And then the third block is planning, communication, extension support for rural development. All these three blocks, again, you will see if you look into these three blocks, they have a logical sequence in the sense that you need to know initially what are the basic principles and techniques. You need to know after that what are the extension concepts, and once you have the knowledge, a basic knowledge about the communication principles and subsequently the extension concepts, then you can very well plan a communication extension support for rural development. Now this is how it is. If we see into a little greater depth in each of these blocks, let's see the first block, basic principles and techniques of communication. Now what we are dealing there through various units in that, we are talking about meaning, concept and functions of communication. We are talking about communication channels and their use in rural development, and we are talking about communication media for rural development, media mix for rural development. This is what we are talking in the block 1. Now what we are talking in the block 2, we are talking about extension, concept, philosophy and approaches. I think a student of rural development necessarily needs to know what is the philosophy, what was the concept first, what was the philosophy and principles of extension. I'm coming to that, why it is necessary. Then a learner also needs to know the historical development of rural extension in India, and subsequently the types of rural extension and extension methods. And then I will go into details little later when we come back to the rural extension part of it. And the third block, which is equally important, is that once, as I said, once a learner is aware about the basic principles, once a learner is aware about the extension concept and various types of rural extension, then a learner, a rural development graduate or a postgraduate, will perhaps be in much better position to define communication support for any development intervention he or she is involved, explain what extension management is, how it can be done effectively, look into and be aware about organizational communication within an organization in which he or she is working or any other person is working, and finally will be able to develop communication strategy for rural development. Maybe one of the methods which we have suggested and will be discussing in the second session also is the media mix, keeping in view our typical situation which is prevalent in our country. Now these are the three important blocks which we are offering you under RDD 7, communication and extension in rural development. Now, apart from what we offer you through these readings, self-learning print materials, distance education package also calls for supporting this, reinforcing these print material with the audio video components. We are in the process for the master's degree, for PG postgraduate diploma in rural, we already have number of programs, but for the master's degree program, we are in the process of preparing a number of video and audio programs. Those which are in the process of production, as far as the video programs are concerned, we are preparing a program on communication, frankly speaking, fundamentals of communication. We are talking about three important programs which are being offered. SJSY, Sanajanti Sawa Rozgar Yojana, Sampoorn Gramin Rozgar Yojana, SJRY, DDP and DPAP, Desert Development Program and Draftborn Area Development Program, and a video program on Village India, and then Agricultural Extension Services and Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana. These are some of the programs on which we are in the process of producing the video component for this program. Audio component, which is almost ready, is on rural banking. We have the experts discussing rural banking. We have the experts whom we have captured speaking about rural education, impact of technology, anti-poverty programs which are being offered, and rural health care. And we will go on adding to this audio-video component in the days to come. This is a component which, when added to the self-learning, self-instructional materials which reach you wherever you are, then these are being telecasted through various channels, through various modes, and then these together reinforce the learning. That's something very interesting about the distance education program. Now, coming to this extension, before we come to the concept of rural extension, let's say something about the term extension itself. We have told you through the materials, but I'm reinforcing that what has been said, and sometimes you overlook, sometimes perhaps you don't go thoroughly through all the materials which reaches you. I found that the word extension has its Latin roots, consisting of two. One, ex means out, and tensio means stretching. Stretching out. Stretching out what? Stretching out knowledge, stretching out practices, stretching out changing attitudes, positive attitudes, which are necessary in extension. So essentially, the term itself means that are you going to stretch out? Are you going to reach with the people with the improved knowledge, with the improved practices? I'm not talking of any subject matter. And also to change their attitude. As a result of that knowledge and practices, their attitudes may change, may become positive towards all the development interventions being made from time to time. This is how this extension takes place. Now, I further went down, and we have mentioned it in our materials also. It was the Cambridge University which in 1873 introduced this concept of extension. What was in their mind at that time? That the benefits of the university education should reach where the common people live and work. There was a feeling that the benefits of the education remain confined to the conventional campus in various universities and colleges. There is a lot of research being conducted by the various universities. Lot of knowledge, new knowledge is developed as a result of that research conducted by various universities. Now, one thing is that students take advantage of that. The second thing is, can it also raise, say for example, if we are doing a lot of research in agricultural practices, we are also concerned, can this improved knowledge, can these tested practices also reach to the common people where they live? Once we are thinking of carrying this knowledge, these improved practices to the common people, we are essentially getting involved in extension. I think there should not be any doubt about understanding what really extension is then. Now, if you see, and even the Cambridge and other universities have done it. Now, if you look into this, very important thing, what academically, and if we have to give a definition, what does this extension mean? It means to extend, what I was telling you, or to spread, to extend, to spread, or disseminate useful information and ideas, when we are talking of rural extension, to rural people, to bring desirable changes in human behavior. We want to extend, we want to spread, we want to disseminate. अगर हमने किसी भी जो भी ज्ञान हमने हासिल किया किसी एरिया में, उस ज्ञान को अगर हम यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपस तक ही रखें तो उसका फायदा आम लोगों को कैसे मिलेगा? कृषि क्षेत्र में जब हम बहुत बड़े बड़े रिसर्च करते हैं, जिनका फायदा, जिनका लाभ वो देही एरियाज में ही ज्यादा हो सकता है, अगर हम उस ज्ञान को वहां तक न पहुंचाएं तो वो खाली रिसर्च के किताबों तक ही लिमिट महदूद रहेगा। तो अगर हम ये कोशिश करें कि इस ज्ञान को हम कैसे वहां तक पहुंचे, उन लोगों तक कैसे पहुंचे जिनका इनसे फायदा हो सकता है, तो वही उस सेंस में हम उस वक्त एक्सटेंशन का इस्तेमाल करते हैं। वी आर डूइंग एक्सटेंशन इन दैट। इसमें क्या है, देयर आर 3 इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स इन दिस व्हिच आई हैव शोन यू हियर। हम चाहते हैं कि एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दिस एक्सटेंशन a desirable changes in human behavior may come। क्या क्या है वो? नंबर 1, in their knowledge, उनकी नॉलेज जो है वो बढ़ जाएगी, चाहे वो कृषि के बारे में हो, चाहे वो किसी हेल्थ के बारे में हो, चाहे वो किसी भी चीज में, किसी भी आप बात करें एजुकेशन के बारे में हो, चाहे वो सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री, उनकी नॉलेज बढ़े। सेकंड, जो उस नॉलेज के साथ साथ जिन स्किल्स की जरूरत है वो उनको इंप्रूव हो जाए, अगर नहीं है तो इम्पार्ट हो जाए। तो आइदर वी इम्पार्ट स्किल्स और वी इंप्रूव अपॉन द एग्जिस्टिंग स्किल्स। और तीसरा एंड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज जो उनका एटीट्यूड है, दैट एटीट्यूड बिकम्स पॉजिटिव। वो इस चीज को अपनाने के लिए खुश हो जाए। आई मीन एक क्या देखते हैं, चेंज जो आती है, जो परिवर्तन आता है, इस प्रोसेस ऑफ परिवर्तन में क्या होता है, देयर इज अ रेजिस्टेंस एक आती है, बहुत जबरदस्त रेजिस्टेंस। एंड वी फाइंड पीपल जिनके पास पूरा ज्ञान नहीं होता उस सब्जेक्ट के बारे में, वो अपना रेजिस्ट करते हैं इस चेंज को। एंड हम चाहते हैं कि इस ज्ञान, इसकी वजह से उनमें वो एटीट्यूड जो है वो पॉजिटिव हो जाए, वो इसको अपना ले, उसकी अच्छाई को समझ ले। एंड दैट्स व्हाट इज नीडेड व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ एक्सटेंशन। नाउ इफ वी मूव लिटिल फर्दर, हम बात करते हैं एक्सटेंशन से लेकर थोड़ा सा क्लोज अप होके कि what is extension in the context of rural development. Specifically, अगर हम rural, we normally talk about agriculture and things like that. Let us specifically talk about rural development. Now, it is a continuous process designed to make rural people, जो गाँव में लोग रहते हैं, उनको aware of their problems, उनकी जो समस्याएं हैं उनके बारे में उनको aware करें, जानकारी दे दें उनको। That's extension. जो एक्सटेंशन एजेंट जाता है और लोगों के साथ बैठकर उनसे बातें करता है, उनको हेल्प करता है वो देखने में कि आपके साथ क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है, कौन सी प्रॉब्लम्स है, उनको आर्टिकुलेट करने में मदद करता है। नाउ इफ दैट इज वन एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इट, टू मेक रूरल पीपल अवेयर ऑफ देयर प्रॉब्लम, जो उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स है। सेकंड, टू एनेबल देम टू एड्रेस दीज प्रॉब्लम्स, उनको मदद करें ताकि वो ये जो समस्या उनके सामने है उनका वो कोई सोल्यूशन निकाल सकें। से फॉर एग्जांपल उनको बताएं कि मीन्स एंड मेथड्स ऑफ सॉल्विंग देम, कैसे इसको हम कर सकते हैं। पॉजिटिव चेंज इन देयर क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ, अगर आप इस तरह से जो से फॉर एग्जांपल हम कृषि की बात करते हैं, इफ वी टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर फॉर एग्जांपल, खेती बाड़ी की बात करते हैं, कृषि उसकी बात करते हैं। अगर उनको हम ये बताएं कि साहब अगर आप इम्प्रूव्ड प्रैक्टिसेस को इस्तेमाल करें, अगर आप एडुकेट फर्टिलाइजर टाइम पर इस्तेमाल करें, कि जो आपकी एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्शन है वो बहुत बढ़ सकती है। अगर आप पेस्टिसाइड्स का इस्तेमाल टाइम पर करें तो आपकी जो भी होगा आपका उसमें पेस्टिसाइड्स, वट एवर क्रॉप्स यू हैव, उसमें कीड़ा नहीं लगेगा। एज ए रिजल्ट आपका क्रॉप डबल हो जाएगा, और अगर आपका क्रॉप डबल हो जाएगा तो आपकी इकोनॉमी भी बढ़ जाएगा, आपकी सोशो इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन भी ठीक हो जाएगी। अगर आपकी सोशो इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन ठीक हो गई तो आपका क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ वो भी अच्छा हो जाएगा। you will have a better quality of life. आपके पास वो सब चीजें आ जाएंगी जो जरूरी है एक अच्छे ढंग से रहने के लिए। ये एक है जो रूरल एक्सटेंशन की बात हम जब कर रहे हैं, रूरल डेवलपमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं, हमने बहुत सारा इस पर बहुत टाइम दिया इस पर फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम हम ये सोचते रहे कि जब भी हमने एक्सटेंशन की बात की कहीं भी, particularly as I said as a student of rural development, whenever we talked of extension, I found invariably we refer to agriculture extension. Immediately जहां extension की बात की, दूसरे साइड में we start talking of agriculture extension. तो हम सोचते गए जब हम रूरल डेवलपमेंट का ये कोर्स बना रहे, when we are talking about rural development, can there be something called rural extension, जिसका एक भाग, एक हिस्सा एग्रीकल्चर एक्सटेंशन भी हो सकता है। So when we are talking of rural extension, it is not confined to agricultural extension alone. It means all those other areas जो आप देख रहे हैं, say for example, agriculture extension, animal husbandry extension, social forestry extension, rural industries extension, rural health extension and rural education extension. इन सब चीजों का ये जो the rural, it has directly to do something with the rural people. It has directly to do something with the rural people. What we were doing, we were confining ourselves. The entire discussion of extension was getting confined to agriculture extension. जो हमने इसमें जो एडिशंस किया है, जो हमने नया एक मोड इसमें दिया है, वो है to identify various forms of rural extension. जब हम देही तरक्की, जब हम रूरल डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हैं, जब हम ग्रामीण विकास की बात करते हैं, मेरा अपना मानना है कि जो एक any person who lives, a rural poor, a rural farmer, those who live below the poverty line, जो रहते हैं, उनके लिए एजुकेशन, शिक्षा, उनके लिए इंडस्ट्रीज, उनके लिए सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री, उनके लिए पशुपालन, उनके लिए कृषि, सब एक ही तरह के इंपॉर्टेंट है. दे आर इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट टू देम. All these aspects, they need to grow food, they need to pay special attention to the animal husbandry, the cattle, they need to have a social forestry around, they need to have rural small scale industries. जब उनके पास काम नहीं होता है, जो बेकार सीजन्स होते हैं, उसमें वो थोड़े थोड़े किसी में स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज, कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज में आ जाए. दे नीड स्वास्थ्य, हेल्थ, दे नीड एजुकेशन, शिक्षा. तो उनके लिए सब जरूरी है. इन सब का मैंने ये जो 6 इसके मैंने देखे वेरियस फॉर्म्स ऑफ रूरल एक्सटेंशन, दे टुगेदर कंस्टिट्यूट रूरल एक्सटेंशन इन माय ओपिनियन. अब इन एक एक को ले ले हम अंत में, क्योंकि टाइम कम है. मैं चाहता हूं कि थोड़ा सा इन पर एक हम नजर डालें कि ये जो है ये क्या है एक एक करके. एग्रीकल्चर एक्सटेंशन किसको कहते हैं? इट इज अ प्रोसेस. Agriculture extension is a process which helps farmers to analyze their present and spatial future situation, to become aware of the problem that arise in such an analysis, and help farmers acquire specific knowledge related to certain problem solutions as per their understanding and satisfaction. It also helps them, ये उनको भी और भी मदद करता है, to improve their own farming and decision making skills. So ये एक प्रोसेस है जो हमारे फार्मर्स होता है, जिनको वो मदद देती है कि आपको आज क्या चाहिए, आपको कल के लिए किस चीज़ की ज़रूरत है, किन किन की प्रैक्टिसेस की ज़रूरत है, क्या चीज़ें हैं जो आपका क्रॉप जो है डबल कर सकती है, कीड़े उनसे बचा, पेस्टिसाइड कैसे लगाने चाहिए, कैसे कीड़े मकोड़े दूर रखने चाहिए ताकि आपका क्रॉप. दिस होल थिंग व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इज एग्रीकल्चर एक्सटेंशन. इसको कैसे हम इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं फार्मिंग को. ये जो डिसीजंस आपको लेने हैं, मुझे कब पेस्टिसाइड देना है, कब फर्टिलाइजर लगाने, इसके काबिल आपको बनाया जाए, दैट इज एग्रीकल्चर एक्सटेंशन. नाउ लेट्स गो टू द सेकंड वन, एनिमल हस्बेंड्री एक्सटेंशन. पशुपालन बहुत होता है हर घर में, किसी भी ग्राम में जाइए आप, हर जगह पशुपालन. कोई बकरी पालता है, तो कोई गाय पालता है, कोई all these things. It implies informal, continuous educational approach followed to improve the livestock management knowledge, skills and changes of attitude of the livestock management owners towards scientific practices in order to improve both productivity and employment generation. हम कैसे उनको एनिमल हस्बेंड्री एक्सटेंशन के तहत हम कैसे उन लोगों को, to the rural poor who own these, how can we tell them what are the scientific practices, ताकि अगर किसी के पास गाय हो जो आधा किलो दूध देती है, अगर वो साइंटिफिक प्रैक्टिस के उस पर इस्तेमाल करें तो दूध का जो है तिगुना हो जाता है, 1 किलो से 4 किलो बढ़ सकता है. या अगर उसमें बीमारी हो तो उसको ऐसा नहीं फेंकना चाहिए, वी शुड टेक देम टू द वेटरनरी हॉस्पिटल, वहां ये दवाई है. अगर ये सब बातें हम उनको करें कि कैसे पशुपालन को हम साइंटिफिक तरीके से improve कर सकते हैं. We are essentially talking of animal husbandry extension. Then we talk about social forestry extension. आप देख रहे हैं हमारे you see the rural areas, कितना हमारा लैंड ऐसे ही पड़ा रहता है, हम उसमें कुछ नहीं करते हैं. अगर हम एफोरेस्टेशन की बात करते हैं, अगर हम उन टेक्निक्स की बात करते हैं थ्रू विच वी एनालाइज द लैंड यूज पोटेंशियल अंडर द कस्टडी ऑफ द पीपल एंड असेसमेंट ऑफ देयर नीड्स फॉर वेरियस फॉरेस्ट बेस्ड कमोडिटीज. आपको पता है, व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ रूरल एरियाज, वी नीड फॉडर, वी नीड ऑल्सो फायरवुड, वी नीड सो मेनी थिंग्स. अगर हम अंडर सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री एक्सटेंशन क्या करते हैं, लोगों को समझाते हैं कि आप कैसे इसमें वो पौधे उगा सकें जो आपकी जो बाकी जरूरियात हैं उनको पूरा कर सकें. वी हेल्प देम इन आर्टिकुलेट व्हाट आर दोज थिंग्स विच कैन हेल्प यू बाय गोइंग फॉर साइंटिफिकली गोइंग फॉर सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री. एंड व्हेन वी आर डूइंग दैट, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सोशल फॉरेस्ट्री एक्सटेंशन. we suggesting them various kinds of tree cultivation, कौन सा पौधा लगाना चाहिए in different categories of available land and motivating people to take a plantation. आप देखते हैं कितना हम कोशिश करते हैं लोग पौधे लगा दें, उसमें परिवर्तन भी चेंज होता है, पूरा entire climate gets very soothing. So when we are doing that, जब हम लोगों को motivate करते हैं, when we are motivating the people, we are essentially getting into social forestry extension. Next is that what we call as rural industries extension. ये क्या इन्वॉल्व करता है? Creating awareness about entrepreneurship development programs in rural areas. छोटे छोटे कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज कैसे आप कर सकते हैं. जब हमने देखा है कि हमारे जो फार्मर्स होते हैं, बहुत सारा टाइम उनके पास खाली होता है, हाउ कैन दे डू समथिंग which gives them some income and ultimately improves their quality of life. Arrange training of artisans. अगर उनकी ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत है, उनको नए मेथड्स में ट्रेनिंग, मेथड्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, यूज ऑफ न्यू टूल्स, नए नए टेक्निक्स कैसे इस्तेमाल करते हैं, दैट इज रूरल इंडस्ट्रीज एक्सटेंशन. हेल्प देम ऑर्गेनाइज अदर सर्विसेज सच एज लैंड और शेड्स इन इंडस्ट्रियल एस्टेट्स, छोटे छोटे इंडस्ट्रियल उसमें करने के लिए. देन वी हैव रूरल हेल्थ एक्सटेंशन, स्वास्थ्य. अब इसको कैसे करते हैं? प्रोसेस ऑफ इंटरवेंशन. कब हम उनको बता दें कि आपको क्या करना चाहिए. आप देख रहे हैं एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स देख रहे हैं, डायरिया के एडवर्टाइजमेंट देखते हैं, ये पानी पीना चाहिए, उसमें थोड़ा सा नमक, थोड़ा सा चीनी डालना चाहिए, और चीजें. क्रिएटिंग अवेयरनेस, नंबर 1. डेवलपिंग स्किल्स इन हेल्थ प्रैक्टिसेस, 2. थर्ड, डेवलप ग्रुप सपोर्ट फॉर हेल्थ प्रैक्टिसेस, एंड 4th, क्लियरिफाई डाउट्स अबाउट हेल्थ प्रैक्टिस एंड फॉलो. ये करना चाहिए, ये नहीं करना चाहिए, अच्छा है या नहीं अच्छा है. तो उसमें हम उनका स्वास्थ्य जो है, हेल्थ अच्छा रख सकते हैं. एंड फाइनली रूरल एजुकेशन. एजुकेशन से मतलब यहाँ नहीं है खाली स्कूल तो चलते रहते हैं, सेकेंडरी प्राइमरी स्कूल चलते रहते हैं. एजुकेशन से मतलब वो उन लोगों को भी एजुकेट करना, उन लोगों को जो फॉर्मली स्कूल नहीं गए हैं, जो फार्मिंग करते हैं, या दूसरे कोई रूरल आर्टिजन है, कोई कारपेंटर है, कोई फार्मर है, कोई खेती बाड़ी, वट एवर दे आर डूइंग इट, उनको एजुकेट करना. It's a sort of a non-formal education की तरफ हम ज़्यादा करते हैं when we are talking about rural extension, rural education extension. Rural extension as such concerned, it is a specialized process of education addressed to specific adult groups in an informal situation. जो अडल्ट ग्रुप्स होते हैं उनका एक इनफॉर्मल सिचुएशन में उनको बैठ के, जरूरी नहीं स्कूल में लेके, कॉलेज में लेके, उनको किसी एक जगह बिठा के उनको समझाया जाता है, उनको एजुकेट किया जाए. नॉट एजुकेशन फॉर डिग्रीज बट एजुकेशन फॉर द अवेयरनेस, फॉर बिकमिंग वेरी गुड पीपल. आई थिंक हम इस तक आ गए हैं, और बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो कंसेप्ट ऑफ रूरल एक्सटेंशन में आती है. आपसे फिर बात करेंगे हम दूसरे सेशन में. यहाँ हम यही रुक जाते हैं, और thank you very much for listening to this, and we will continue the next session on communication. Thank you very much.